Have you ever wondered if Noah's flood was really a global event or just a local legend? Did it really happen? And what if I told you that there is scientific evidence that could support the existence of this flood? Today, we are going to explore one of the greatest mysteries hidden in the Holy Scriptures, the biblical flood. Was it an event that covered the entire planet, or just a regional flood of great proportions? And what scientific evidence can help us better understand this monumental event? In this video, we will investigate these questions and bring to light the evidence and theories about Noah's flood. We will delve into biblical descriptions, examine scientific discoveries, and seek possible points of convergence between them. Can science corroborate the biblical flood? Prepare yourself for a fascinating journey where faith and science meet. Together, we will discover if the flood was really a global event or just an ancient myth. Don't miss this chapter of our biblical study, and in the end, you will decide what to believe. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the TC Bible Stories channel to follow all our journeys through the scriptures. If you like this type of content, leave a like, as this helps us a lot to continue bringing videos like this, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Let's explore the mysteries of the Bible together. After building the ark, as we saw in the previous video, Noah and his family were preparing to face the most devastating event ever recorded in the scriptures, the flood. Noah was 600 years old when God commanded him and his family to enter the ark. For 7 days, the wait inside the ark. But why 7 days? The 7 days may have served as a final preparation period for Noah, his family, and the animals. This time allowed everyone to settle into the ark, and for Noah to check if everything was in order before the flood began. Additionally, the number 7 has a special meaning in the Bible, often associated with perfection and completeness, symbolizing the totality of time designated by God for preparation before divine judgment. Noah and his family were now ready. Imagine the anticipation and anxiety inside the ark as the skies darkened and the first drops of rain began to fall. On the day Noah turned 600 years old, 1 month and 17 days, all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. It was as if the earth itself was breaking apart, releasing underground waters while rain poured down torrentially from the sky. Contrary to what many think, the flood was not caused by rain alone. The waters came from both above and below, creating a double and inescapable devastation. But how do we know this is possible? Modern geology gives us some clues. Scientific studies show that there are enormous amounts of water hidden well below the Earth's surface. Some geologists have discovered that large reservoirs of water are trapped in deep rocks, hundreds of kilometers below us. These deposits can release water if the Earth moves, such as during an earthquake. Moreover, we know that great floods can occur suddenly. For example, the Missoula flood happened when a massive amount of water, trapped by an ice dam, was released all at once, causing enormous devastation. Geologists studied the sediments left by this flood to understand its magnitude. The book, Noah's Flood, The New Scientific Discoveries About the Event That Changed History, by William Ryan and Walter Pittman, two renowned marine geologists, argues that great floods can be caused by tectonic and volcanic activities. They suggest that events like the biblical flood could involve the massive release of underground waters. To get more details, the link of this book is on description. So, it is possible that the biblical flood was caused not only by rain, but also by the massive release of underground waters. This shows us that Noah's story may have a real basis, supported by modern scientific evidence. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain fell incessantly. Imagine the force and intensity of this continuous storm, transforming the familiar landscape into a vast ocean. Each day, the waters rose higher, submerging cities, forests, and mountains. The ark began to float, rising above the submerged land. As the waters rose, the ark was carried by the currents, navigating through an unrecognizable world completely covered by water. The waters prevailed, rising increasingly higher, until they covered all the highest mountains, rising about 7 meters above the peaks. All life on earth perished. From the birds in the sky to the great mammals and humans, all were swept away by the force of the waters. Only Noah, his family, and the animals with them on the ark survived this catastrophe. But how could this be possible? Modern scientific studies help us understand how a flood event of this magnitude could occur. According to the book Noah's Flood, one of the theories about the flood is that around 5600 BC, the Black Sea underwent a devastating flood when the waters of the Mediterranean broke through a natural barrier, submerging inhabited areas around the Black Sea and creating a large saltwater lake. In Mesopotamia, archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley found evidence of a great flood in the city of Ur, with a deep layer of mud and sediments dating back to around 4000 BC. This discovery suggests that the region experienced a significant flood that may be related to the biblical account of the flood. In the Persian Gulf, researcher Jeffrey Rose proposed that during the last glacial period, sea levels were much lower, making the now submerged area habitable. As the glaciers melted, sea levels rose, quickly flooding the Gulf and forcing human populations to migrate. This theory is presented in the study New Light on Human Prehistory in the Arabo-Persian Gulf Oasis, 2010. These scientific studies provide a plausible context for understanding how the biblical flood could have covered the entire earth, including the highest mountains. The combination of tectonic changes, release of underground waters, and catastrophic floods could explain the magnitude of this event described in the Bible. But it is also important to be honest and say that many scientists believe it is impossible for a global flood, considering it more likely a local flood that, due to its great proportions, was considered global by the inhabitants of the time. In my opinion, the flood was indeed global, as the Bible says. But I want to hear from you. What is your opinion? Did the flood exist? Was it local or global? And in the next video, next Wednesday, we will find out what happened when the floodwaters receded. What happened to Noah and his sons? What covenant did God make with Noah? And why, from that moment on, did man stop being vegetarian and start eating meat? What changed? Don't miss it. Subscribe to the TC Bible Stories channel, leave a like, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. See you next time.